You with me? By the way, what's the key word in reading it? Assumptive. Be very assumptive as if this is what they're going to take. Folks, let me do this. Let me hand you each a copy here. What I like to do is I like to read this to you word for word. It may seem a little boring, but a lot of times it brings up questions you may not even be sure or you may not. 'em Floyd up this time only. We're going to bring them up singing. And let's start it off. Everybody up. Start clapping. Let's go. Hit it. Sweathogs and dancing each and every single day. Ready to go for the game. Louder! Yeah! Come on, get up! Up here! Come on! Thanks, Bruce. You remember 77 days ago? I hope you're feeling another day. Yet, by the same token, you hate to see it end. Because in 77 days, which isn't long, sometimes it seemed like months and months and months. In 77 days, you made some new friends, I think. Yeah. People that you know you can count on. People that you know if you gave them a lead, the lead would be taken care of. There's Sweathogs all over the United States and Canada. If you give a referral to a Sweathog, you know that you got best odds of getting a referral commission. And when I do this program, I get a lot of criticism in terms of a lot of things, like Floyd, you should cut it down in 9 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. whatever. And of course, I'll never change it, ever, because there's so many of you just in the last 3 weeks, you became real estate salespeople, just in the last 3 weeks. And if it had been a 9 or an 8-week program, you would have just been a week from it, all this coming together for you. But in 77 days, we've done an aerial view look at what you, as Century 21 real estate agents in Pennsylvania, have done. And we were a small group, but mighty. Don't you think so? I mean, you know, small but mighty. I think from a selfish standpoint, I think it's more pleasurable for me to do a small group, because I think I got to know some of you better. And I've been tough at times and picked on you and embarrassed you, but then I try to overcome it by hugging when I could, or send you a little note or a flower or what. But I was with you through this thing, believe it or not, 7 days a week. Well, 5.5. But we do an overall average of the program, and we average from beginning to end of the program 99 people, which means we started with 110. We ended up with about 89, and we got an average of 99 people. And we take the average because there's some people that produced at the beginning that aren't with us anymore, and there are some people that didn't produce, and that's why they're not with us anymore. And not because they couldn't, but because they chose not to for whatever reason. So we take an average, and I'm kind of proud of this 99 people average. In 77 days, you brought in 561 listings. Wow. Isn't that dynamite? You had 390 sales and listings sold transactions, or a total of 951 transactions for 77 days. That's a lot of real estate business. Do you agree? Yeah. I'm anxious to get my PR people on this and see what they can do as far as publicity, but not so much publicity for Sweathogs, but publicity for you as individuals. Hopefully some of your hometown newspapers can get wind of the fact that you attended this crazy program, and we may only say the word Sweathog in it real small. We just want them to know it was a real estate program, high intensity, that you went through. Your average, overall average on a weekly basis was 0.90. And from where we started 77 days ago, that's nothing to sneeze at, gang. That's some good business. Most important is, in 77 days, you folks did $506,579 in dollar volume. That's pretty good. So we certainly have nothing to be ashamed of at the Pittsburgh Sweathog program, okay? I say Pittsburgh knowing that we have people from Chambersburg. Where's Chambersburg? I was there once. And we have a lot of you traveled a great deal. Well, it's time now to pay recognition, or call it what you like, a certificate of completion. And there's two things that you'll all be getting today. One is your certificate of completion, but being a salesman, I know the value of an award. So my certificates are named an award. I also know that to put Sweathog, the name Sweathog, on this certificate would deface what you've been through in the eyes of people that really don't understand us. Because you're not Sweathogs anymore, you're stars. Skill, technique, attitude, and by God, results. I don't know what you're going to do in the future. I can only hope and pray. But hey, if anybody can, you can. Look what you've done. And I'll read this to you to communicate why and how I came up with these words. I wanted it to talk like Floyd does. I mean, but we didn't say gonna or doing or anything. But I also wanted it to tell the reader what you've been through. The award recognizes you as one who joins the ranks of a select group of people in the United States and Canada who have successfully completed Floyd Wichman's intensive star development training program, who are now better equipped to handle any type of real estate sales situation, who have committed themselves to success in their chosen profession and function in control of their real estate careers as true professionals. So I hope that means something to you. You get an award, and you also get a lapel pin. You'd be amazed where you run into hogs. Well, you'll just see. Go to your conventions. Go to your conventions. There's a convention coming up in Atlantic City, I think. Whatever it costs, figure half, it's deductible. Go over there and bring a lot of cards and get referral leads, and it doesn't cost you anything. And I looked at your roster of speakers there, and you're going to have some pretty powerful people with some great messages. One in particular is Jerry Bresser from my hometown area, and he gives some real how-tos on listing and selling. But you'll run into people, and you'll run into people that have these little pins. It's a 5-point star standing for the 5 categories that you've mastered. It may look like a dollar sign in the middle. I don't want you to think I planned this. But if you analyze it, it's really an SH. And you don't have to tell anybody you're a sweat hog. A sweat hog will know it. And it acclaims you to be a star. So I hope you wear that proudly, and I'm sure that wherever you go, you can run into somebody and say, hey, you're a sweat hog, eh? Got a referral for you. So I want to give the first presentation, which will be the award, the pin, and a special plaque. Great to work with. First of all, a man that took care of all the details in the program when we needed it. I would say he was the backbone of this whole program. The tapes, you needed them, they were here. The tables were set up right, the markers worked. But more important than that, he was the guy that bugged me to do this program. I told you that his letter made a big influence in me. Next, he's been writing some newspaper articles about Sweathogs, and I think he's just one heck of a 110% guy. Besides his award and pin, he gets a plaque certifying him as the class coordinator, and it says, an appreciation for your professional dedication toward furthering the quality of the real estate industry through education. So let's welcome, first of all, our class coordinator, Chuck Jessup. All right. And then the next man I want to bring up needs no introduction. Give me a... I got to practice that. But I don't know. I've had a lot of class leaders, 47 of them. And I never had one like this guy. That I don't mean just his personality, but his dedication, his concern, his anxiousness to get the job done right, and plus he made it all fun. And I think that's a heck of a combination. I don't care whether you call him Bruce, Pasquale, or Pat, but Pat Liguori. Pat.